Epiphany right now to change somebody's life by just passing kindness forward. Epiphany Now is on a mission to create a revolution of positive, transformational experiences by passing kindness forward. And I'm hosting a series of live interviews with individuals and individuals that represent organizations doing just that. Tonight, I am honored to have with us Major Jim Ervins from the Salvation Army joining us. Jim, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Bob. It's been, let me turn that off. Wouldn't you know it? Hang on here. There we go. People are always trying to get hold of Bob.
Well, I know, because you've been really busy, haven't you?
You know, we have been. We're busy throughout the year, but I want to tell you, COVID-19 has added to our plate, and we're glad to be able to respond to those calls for help.
Now, one of the things that I have learned is that the Salvation Army is the largest service organization in the world, which is congratulations. So you've been helping people for over 150 years now. The Salvation Army has. You work a lot with the homeless. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, that's actually where our roots came from, in London, England. We started out in 1865. William Booth, our founder, had a passion for helping people that were disenfranchised. And when he started his mission work, he never in his wildest imagination thought that one day he would be in over 123 countries around the globe helping people in need. And so that very much is at the heart of our mission. You know, our mission is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, meet human need in his name without discrimination. And it's that last part that is so critical. It's meeting human need without discrimination. And oftentimes when people turn to us, they turn to us in their darkest moment. We frankly are serving the most vulnerable of populations right here in the Lansing capital area, people that have nobody else to turn to.
So how has COVID-19 changed the way that you operate?
Well, it's interesting. Some of the services that we've always provided continue to be provided right now, the utilities, rent assistance, mortgage, that sort of stuff. We still are providing food, but the way we provide food is different. For instance, we normally provide meals, congregate meals, throughout the week. And now, because of the fact that you can't gather in large groups and you can't have people come in and sit down, we're still providing meals, but they're on a takeout basis. So listen to this. Since March 16th, so not even a month yet, just out of the location at 525 North Pennsylvania, we've served 695 meals to help meet the needs with the COVID response. We've added Saturday and Sunday meals. So 2 weeks ago, I think your listeners would be interested in this story. 2 weeks ago, we provided just 30 meals on the Saturday, but of the 30, clearly 1/3 were homeless without any access to shelter of any kind, because the shelters now are at capacity and are unable to take in new people. And so these are people that are living on the street. And quite frankly, one of the stories was very, very moving. We had a woman, 35 years old, 7 months pregnant, who came in for the Saturday meal. And while we were giving her food, we asked her if she was homeless, and she started to break down a little bit. And she was able to tell us that just that morning she had lost her shelter. The night before she had taken shelter, and that morning she was woken and said, listen, you're here for one reason and one reason only. And if you don't provide sexual services, you need to leave. And so she lost her housing. We were able to work with other providers, get her into safe shelter, get her food. And she's waiting to get into a shelter now, but she's in a safe environment while she's self-quarantining for those 14 days of that safe period that the state has asked us to take care of. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, those are stories that you probably see and hear about all the time.
All the time. And, you know, I've often said that if I ever get to the point to where I'm involved in a story like that and it doesn't move my heart, it's time for me to stop. And I've told this story a number of times this week just to my family, so that when I would be sharing tonight with you, I'd be able to get through the story without losing it. These stories really do get to your heart when you have that heart to help people in need, and they are people. They're people just like you and me that have hopes and dreams and aspirations. They're just at the bottom of the pit right now, and they need a hand to help navigate through these difficult waters right now. And we all, Bob, are going to get through this, but it's going to take all of us working together to get through this right now.
That's right. And you have a website, and you also have a phone number that we're actually going to put on the screen right now, that people can go to find out more information. And that is salansing.org or 484-4424, correct?
Absolutely correct. And we're there. We're glad to answer the calls and see how we can help people. And certainly if the Salvation Army can't help, we certainly know other resources. We're glad to connect people to those resources.
What's your biggest need right now?
It's still food. Certainly, the crass answer is cash. Cash is always king. But I never want to direct a donor's gift. If a donor has food and they're able to give that to us, we're glad to receive that. If they have the ability to support us financially and we can translate that into other services, that's great. And those gifts can be dropped off either in person, or if they want to mail their donations in, that's quite possible. Just call us. We'll give you that address.
Now, let's take out Major Jim Urban, and let's just talk about Jim Urban right now, because I understand that you're doing something to pass kindness forward in your neighborhood.
I'm a photographer, and we live in a neighborhood that quite frankly, everybody is hunkered down. We're all honoring the governor's request to stay home. That is, except for my wife and I, because we're essential workers. We're out meeting need. But in those evenings when we get home and the weather is nice, I've set up this project that I'm calling Free Front Porch Portraits. And I've put that out. Our little subdivision that we live in has a little Facebook page. I put that out on our Facebook page and said, if you'd like a photo, just step out on your porch. We'll keep our distance of 12 feet, maybe more. Then I'll send you the photos. You can do with those as you like. If you want to put them on social media, great. If you want to send them to your family just to say, hey, this is what we look like as we're surviving. And the response has been overwhelming. We've had all kinds of families. We've got young families, older families that are enjoying it. And it's been wonderful. We had one couple that said, we're supposed to be in Hawaii right now for our 10th anniversary. And we couldn't make it. And we haven't taken photos in 10 years. So we were going to take photos in Hawaii. I offered to Photoshop them in bikinis. They didn't take me up on that. It's just something that we can do to keep people's spirits high.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Major, for what you do. We appreciate it. Again, will you just tell us that phone number and website? It's going across the stream, but it's good to say too.
Sure. The phone number is 517-484-4424. And the website is SA Lansing, for Salvation Army Lansing, salansing.org.
Thank you so much, Major. We appreciate you joining us tonight. And, everyone who's listening, if you have good news, share it with us. Join the Epiphany Now Facebook group. Like us on Instagram. We'd like to hear your good news. You can find more information, of course, at our website, epiphanynow.org. Good night.